make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon.
Hello and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. Today I'm in my car, you guys. We're doing it kind of early today. This is part 3 with Banky Pound, the life after prison. So Banky, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, blessed, and glad to be here.
Me too. Thank you, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on not once, twice, but 3 times. I really appreciate that.
Hey, I appreciate you having me.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. So, Banky, first part we talked about, your childhood, and I actually learned a lot from you on that segment. Second, we were talking about prison life. Again, I learned a lot. I was kind of taken back with some of the things I learned from you yesterday. So today, Banky is out of prison, doing good, looking good. Tell us how that feels for you.
Oh, it's magnificent. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I feel blessed. I feel humbled every day, just to be out here. These are days I dreamed about for, many, 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 many nights, many, many days. Yeah. And, to finally have it happen, it's surreal. I mean, it's still surreal to this day. Sometimes I wake up and, open my eyes and still be in shock, that I don't see bars or her keys or, officers coming and telling me, it's time to get up, do this, So it's a beautiful thing. I can't complain at all.
So how long has it actually been that you have been out of prison?
Next month, March will be 2 years. March 16th or 17th will be 2 years. So I'm pulling up on 2 years. So
all right.
Feeling good.
I bet it does. And for the ones that may just be tuning in, may have missed part 1 and part 2, Banky Pound was in prison for 33 years. Now he's out. Like he said, March coming will be 2 years that he has been out of prison. He's been doing great things, giving knowledge back to not only our youth, but our adults as well, because some of us need it and some of us learned a lot from Banky. So, Banky, let me ask you, I want to dive right into this question because I've been dying to ask you the outrage of social media. Like, how did you end up getting so acclimated with YouTube? Because you're really, really great on YouTube, have a lot of subscribers. So how was that transition with the whole social media thing?
Oh, well, it's at times overwhelming, but, I put it all in perspective. I say, no matter how overwhelming it gets, I look at it like all the days and the years and the nights, that I spent where, it wasn't nothing going on.
Right.
You was just in there just being bored, nothing to do, wishing you had these type of opportunities. So to come out of here and to get on YouTube and to be able to do interviews or whatever, nice people like yourself and to meet new people, it's a beautiful thing, man. And like I say, I ain't no guru in this technology stuff. I say shout out to Hollywood Trail. That's my son. He does most of the technical work on everything that I do. I'm just make the content. All of that stuff is in my head. So that part is easy for me. But as far as the technological part, I don't know nothing. I don't know what's going on. I'm learning every day. I'm trying to learn, get acclimated with what's going on, because this is a big part of my life now. This is something that I didn't expect. But like I say, when God got a plan for you, you got to go with his plan, not your plan.
So, about that.
I feel like this is a vehicle to, educate a lot of people, especially the young people, man, about, the pitfalls of putting yourself at risk out here, taking chances out here. And, your life is precious, man. It's priceless. You only got one life,
Absolutely.
And when you start giving away parts of your life, by making bad decisions, then that's something that you can't get back. It's something that you can't get back at all. And I want to stress that to everyone listening, old or young. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have on earth. The most valuable commodity that we have on earth.
Absolutely.
I used to ask a lot of young dudes in there, when I started talking to them and trying to mentor younger dudes that was coming in prison, I used to ask them, what's the most important thing in your life? And you would always get almost, verbatim the same answers. My kids, my mother,
Mm-hmm.
my father, my parents. And I would always tell them that if you take time out of that equation, then what is the most important thing in your life? Because without time, they're not even in your life.
They're not
When
right.
time is over, everything ceases to exist. When you run out of time, it's over. Life is over.
Right.
So you have to spend your time more wisely than you spend your money. People put
Absolutely.
more value on their money than they do
Money
on
than
their time. You see what I'm saying? But your
yes.
time is more valuable than your money. Money
Absolutely.
can't make you time. Money can't buy you time. You see what I'm saying? But time can make you money.
Yep. And you can't
So
get your
you have
time
to put
back
it,
either.
yes, you can't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You have to
Mm-hmm.
put that in perspective. Time is the most important ingredients in life. If you're building life and you take time out of life, you can't even build life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when you sitting in prison and you're giving away all of this time that you don't even know how much you have left, then life is right there. It's being mistreated, it's being underestimated, it's being devalued. You have to understand that everything you do has to be with a purpose, because we don't know how much time we have on this earth. So once I learned that philosophy in my head, when I got out here, I understood that I can't waste time. I can't. I've
Absolutely.
given away too
Can't.
much. I've given
Every
away too much, so
yes.
I live every day. And they always say, well, how you did 33 years and you smile all the time? I smile because I did it. And now I'm out here and I'm trying to live. I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to be with my family, my kids, my grandkids, and I'm trying to live a quality life. And, whatever comes with that, whatever obstacles, whatever bad times, I take it all in stride because I know I've seen worse, you
Right.
know.
Right. So I know last night Chaos had a question about you transitioning from prison life to society. Did you have to do a program or something that helped you with that transition? How was that?
Yes, yes. I went into they came up with a program called reentry. At once upon a
Mhm.
time when you got out of prison, if you made parole, you probably would, get your paperwork and everything done, and you might be out probably with less than 2 or 3 weeks. But people was getting out after they had did a lot of time, 15, 20, 30, 40 years or whatever it was, and they had been so removed from society that they was
Mhm.
coming out here ill-equipped to deal with what was going on out here because they were so far back in
Yeah.
time. So they came up with a program called reentry, whereas when you made parole, then you have to go to this program, which was a 5-month program. You had to complete all of these courses. They teach you how to fill out applications,
Okay.
um, get you somewhat acclimated with computers, uh, get you somewhat acclimated in how to come out here and catch up with what the things that you've missed, the things that you've been removed from. So we did a lot of that in there, socializing, talking, being able to deal with people and being able to put your attitudes and your frustrations aside to
Right.
understand
Right.
that you're not going to be in prison. You're going to be out here in the real world where people deal with things different than they do on the inside. So the program to me was it was instrumental. When I first went in there, I was skeptical like everybody else, because I'm like,
Right.
man, I remember when you made parole, you went straight home, but now we got to take these classes. And when you finally do make parole, especially after being locked up as long as I have, only thing you want to do is get home, because now
Right.
you actually going home. So I was a little skeptical about it at first, but once I got in there and I seen that the program could actually be beneficial to you, can actually help you, in your transition and coming out here, I just took to it and bought into it, and I think it helped me a lot. Even with what I'm doing now, like
Yeah.
I say, God has a plan for you that you don't even know. I never thought that I would be speaking to people, but I had to actually start speaking to people when I was in the program, because it was structured as such, where they had a panel board and people got up every day. We had to get up twice a day. As a matter of fact, we call them AMD meetings and PMD meetings, where we had to
Mhm.
have everybody there in a group session, and we talked about different scenarios, different things that we might come encounter with when we get on the street. And I actually had became the senior coordinator, so I actually had to, speak to the entire class every day, twice a day. That was something that I never did before. But like I say, you never know what you can do until you do it.
Right.
So, so once I started doing that, it became natural to me. It didn't even bother me at all, which was what I didn't know was when I got out of here that this was what I would actually be doing. So, it was
works hand in
instrumental to
hand.
me. Yeah, it was instrumental to me.
That's good. Now, I know also last night we had another question from Miss Chrissy Butts, and thank you so much for coming on, Chrissy. She wanted to know what your favorite food is now that you're out. What is your favorite food? Or do you just eat up everything?
Yeah. When I first got out, I was eating everything because, what I'm saying, we didn't have quality food in there. So I was eating everything, man. So I tried it all. The first thing I tried when I got out was Chick-fil-A, and I don't
How you like
recommend
it?
that.
You
I
don't?
love it.
I thought you.
I'm saying I don't recommend it for anybody coming straight out because it will become an addiction. You know what I'm saying? And I've been eating it ever since. I love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I would have to say though, since I've been out, my favorite food would probably be shrimp. I love shrimp, fried shrimp, any kind of shrimp is just delicious to me, and I would have to say before I went in, my favorite food was pizza,
Okay.
but once you on the inside and you eat, pizza or whatever they may have, every now and then they might have had pizza, but it wasn't pizza like we, knew from out here.
Right.
So, it just mentally turns you off from those type of foods because of the name alone. Now you're used to it tasting a certain way because this is the way I'm used to it tasting. So I didn't really like it as much when I got out here. And I just started eating different food, and I like shrimp. And I ate the most favorite thing that I ate since I've been out here though was I ate some fish called grouper blackened. And
Okay, I heard of that.
man, that stuff was delicious, man. It was delicious. So, fish and shrimp would be my favorite.
Okay. And
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to Chick-fil-A. Look, I got my little Chick-fil-A
Yeah,
cup here
man.
now with some C in it. But I
And yeah,
love Chick-fil-A as well.
Chick-fil-A mean, man. They mean with it.
Yes. So, when you started your YouTube, did you expect it to like take off like it did? And how did that feel for you to
I
have all
had
this support?
no real expectations of it at all. I did not. I just knew that I said I was going to do it. My son encouraged me to do it. I said I was going to do it and see and hope and pray that it reached some people, especially some young people. So when it started rising and rising to me, I'm like, I always shoot for the stars, man. So I was like, well, I got 10,000 or 15,000, but I was looking and comparing myself to other people who had 100,000, 250,000, a million. So I always felt like, well, I ain't doing enough. I could do more. I could reach more people. I had to put out more content. But my son put it in perspective for me. He was letting me know. He was like, man, even to this day, he was like, you got 51,000. He said, you got people who've been on here for years who
Yes.
don't have that many people. But I always feel like I'm not going to get complacent. I wanted to get bigger because I wanted to reach more people. I figured the bigger it get, the more people it reach. The more people it reach, the more people that we can impact and probably change their position or change their trajectory in life. So I just wanted to keep growing, man. But just to receive all that love and to receive all the, the comments, I read all the comments. All of my son told me, he said, man, usually when people get about 5,000, they don't really read the comments or answer the comments and
Right.
stuff like that because they have so much to do. I answer all mine to this
I
day,
love it.
as many as I can, because I feel like if they take their time out their day to make a comment, I can take some time out to try to respond to them and let them know that I appreciate it. So
Absolutely.
shout out to TBP, man. They be holding me down, and I appreciate
Yes,
it so
I can
much.
tell.
So
I can
much.
tell. Much respect. Kay, I said, besides the internet and social media, what was the biggest culture shock to you?
Just the speed of how people move out here, because in there everything is slow. Everything is, compact. You know what you're gonna deal with every day. Almost every day is going to be the same. You know, same thing every day, and you just hope don't nothing crazy happen. But out here, especially like when I first went into Walmart, just to see all these people moving around and coming all around, and you're not used to that, because on the inside, when that's happening, usually something bad is getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so that was probably the most major thing. And then out here, like I say, everything costs. Everything costs, you know, in there, you know, you can take $100 and stretch it for 2 months. You know, out here, $100 might use it for 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And it's gone. So, you know, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. But as far as like, you know, people always say, well, you come out and you've been gone for so long, it'd be so difficult. I used to hear dudes coming back and forth to prison, talking about, man, it's hard out there. It's hard out there. I'm like, man, it's hard in here. You know what I'm saying? It's hard in here. Out here, I put it all in perspective and say, you know, no matter how hard it gets out here, I know what it's like on the inside. So I don't let myself get too down. I don't let myself get too high. I try to stay right in the middle. Whatever comes, I will adapt, cope, and adjust to whatever the situation is. So just to be out here every day is a blessing to me.
Absolutely.
It's a blessing to me. I can't complain. The worst day out here does not compare to my best day on the inside.
Yeah.
So I put it in that perspective. So I just keep pushing every day.
So what are your thoughts with this whole, I just want to know how you feel about it, with this whole COVID pandemic? What's going on, the whole quarantine that, you know, I think you probably just were getting out maybe or something along those lines when all this happened?
I was right in the middle of it. And, you know, one of the funniest things somebody said to me when I first came out, it was like, man, you came out in the COVID, man. You picked the wrong time to come out. I'm like, brother, I've been locked up for 33 years. I came out here in the Ebola virus. You know what I'm saying? I would have came out here in Vietnam, you know. So yeah, you know, but I think maybe like a week after I got out, they were starting to wear the masks and stuff like that. And it didn't really affect me the way it affected other people, because people who had already been out here, you know, they was not used to, you know, dealing with something like that. From where I came from, just being out here, that was just a minor adjustment for me. Okay, now I'm in the free world, but I got to wear a mask.
Right.
You know, okay. You know what I'm saying? It was okay with me. You know, I did end up catching COVID. I caught it. You know, I quarantined for probably like 14 days. I had maybe like 4 days that it was really bad. I was, you know, weak body wise. You know, didn't have an appetite. I never lost my taste or smell or nothing like that. But I came through it. You know, God bless. I came through it. I recently just got over the flu. I had the flu. Yeah, I had the flu for like, man, almost a month or something. You know, gave me a little nagging cough or whatever, and a little fever every now and then. But I got through that. God bless. So, you know, things like that. It didn't really affect me as much as it affected other people's lives, because other people had their life in perspective, what they was doing every day, how they was moving, where they had to go, and this affected them. And I understood that because they had been out here their whole life, and it interrupted their life. But for me coming out here, just jumping straight into it, everything out here was new to me. So everything out here was a blessing, and that's the way I look at it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Where do you see yourself? I know you have your Super Bowl meal coming up for Sunday, but what are your future endeavors? What do you have in mind aside from everything that you're doing now?
I mean, you know, in a perfect world, I would, you know, hope that one day I could get myself financially stable enough to maybe open up a gym, you know, because I'm big on boxing, and I would like to open up a gym, especially, you know, for the young kids, man, to try to give them some type of structure, to pull them away from the gangs, pull them away from the street life, you know, the violence out here, because the violence out here is still real, you know, and these young kids are misinformed. They don't have the proper information to be able to do what they need to do and understand the consequences if they don't do what they need to do. So I would like to open up a gym and, you know, teach these dudes how to box, but at the same time, I would like to be financially able enough to say, well, you can come to this gym and learn how to box, but the price of you coming to this gym is not monetary. You know, it's that you have to also take these life lessons that I got to give you too. You have to be doing good at home. You have to be listening to your parents. You have to be going to school. You have to be staying away from gangs and drugs and all this violence. And in turn for that, I'm going to give you a skill that you can use for the rest of your life. And I'm going to give you some life lessons to take along with you. So that's what I would like to do. If I could get in that position, that would be, you know, awesome for me.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
From when you were 16, 13, you know, at a young age, and then seeing children now that you're out, can you tell there's like a big difference in how our children are these days and times, you know, what we're doing that's so different than when we were younger? Have you noticed something
Man.
different?
When I was coming up, you know, if you had a problem with someone, this is what you use, you know. But nowadays, man, these
I'm
kids,
sorry. Hold on just
they carry
one moment.
guns, they shooting, you know, and I don't advocate just fighting, you know what I'm saying? Because I always feel that you can probably, you know, solve your situations without resorting to that type of violence. But if you can't solve it, if you have to solve it that way, at least you walk away from that. You
Right.
know, you walk away from that. When you pick up a gun and you shoot somebody over a dispute, over some words, over a misunderstanding, you can't come back from that. You know, you can't. And that's what I see the change in from when I grew up to right now. These kids these days, they quick to grab a gun. They want to
Yes.
shoot you because you stepped on their shoes. They want to shoot you because you said something that's disrespectful to them. So that right there has to be changed in the home. That has to be changed in our community service. We have to talk to them and let them know that these is not the way to go, because a mistake like that or a move like that can alter your whole life,
Yes.
you know, and it's going to alter other people's lives. Because when you shoot somebody, you got to imagine, what are you doing to their family? What are you taking away from their family? You see what I'm saying? So it's a trickle down effect, and it has great ramifications, man, when you make those type of moves. So we have to start letting these little young people out here know that this is not what you got to do out here in this world, man. You got to try to get your life in order. You got to try to have some type of structure where you can have a future, and you're not going to have one when you resort to violence or you resort to taking the law in your own hands. It's not going to get you nowhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Chaos has a question. She said, what type of advice would you give my friend or anyone of that matter who has spent 20 plus behind the wall? He left Nottoway and is currently in reentry at State Farm. So what type of advice would you give someone that, you know, currently, I guess he's getting ready to get out, get ready to
Yeah,
go into the real world?
yeah. He was I was at Nottoway when I made parole, so shout out to him. I went to reentry at Greensville. What I would tell him and what I would suggest you tell him to come out here with an open mind. Come out here with optimism. You know, live your life every day when you walk out of that gate as if you expect something great to happen, as if you expect something wonderful to happen at any moment. You know, keep the negativity out of your mind. Don't listen to what people tell you what you can't do because of where you come from. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do because of what your past is. Your
Right.
past is just that. It's your past. You know, I always say a ship sails backwards, never sees the sunset. You know, you got to look forward, what you're going to do from that day forward, because your life starts over from the day you walk out of the gate, you know, and anything is possible. I didn't know that I would be doing this. I didn't
Right.
know that I would have 51,000 people that would listen to anything that I had to say. Because when I was on the inside, I couldn't get 50 people to listen to anything that I have to say, you know. So that's the difference. So you have to come out here with optimism. You have to believe in yourself if don't nobody else believe in you. You know, one of the things that I said in my intro was when I was on the other show, and he asked me a question, and I was just saying, you know, I ain't got nothing when I came out here. I don't have nothing there. but I feel like I'm rich in personality, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
have some.
I
I'm
love
gonna
that.
do something because I believe in me if no nobody else believe in me. So that's what I would tell that person to tell him: believe in himself, believe that he can make a difference, believe that he can get his life back on track because you can. Just the way you got it off track, you can get it on
Get
track.
on
You
track.
know.
Absolutely. Kiana said, how did you get into YouTube?
Well, I got into YouTube because when I got out, my ex-wife, who is a good friend of mine now, she was watching a program and she was telling me that she seen a dude on YouTube that was talking on a show called the After Prison Show, and he was explaining, things that he went through when he was locked up, and he had did 31 years. So she had asked me, did I ever see the show or know? I didn't know anything about the show. So she told me about it. I went to look at it. When I went to look at it, it was actually a dude that I knew. I had actually did time with him. I knew him, and I watched him tell his story about things that happened in prison and whatnot. And she had said something to the dude who owned the show about that I had been locked up just as long, and I knew the dude. So he ended up contacting me and wanted to do an interview with me. I did the interview with him. He wanted to do more. He got good views, probably like 800,000 views.
Wow.
He wanted to do more. I did a couple of more, and almost everyone I did with him got at least over 500,000 views. And then I started doing my cooking on there, and that got 1 million views. And I was like, oh, okay. So he wanted to keep working with me, and I was, I kept working with him. It was a mutual,
Right.
relationship. So then my son was asking me because he shoots music videos. He just told me, man, he said, won't you start your own YouTube? And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to do that. And he was like, you just, tell your story and I'll handle the technical part. And that's that's how I got into it and been doing it ever since.
I love it. And that probably helped you and your son build that bond, get
Yes,
that
yes,
back.
yes, yes. Because when I went in, he was not even born. He was,
Mm.
his mother was pregnant as I was in the jail going through my trials and whatnot. But
Yeah.
we built a relationship on and off since I was locked up. I used to talk to him over the phone. He came to see me when he was old enough. We was, build a relationship like that. But by us being out here now, we actually work together.
Right.
Even though he's in LA and I'm in VA, we talk all the time. We, collaborate on these videos, and it has built a greater bond with me and him, which I love.
Oh, that's so good. Chaos said he comes home on the 28th. You probably came across him at some point. He left Nottoway in 2021, but like you, has been on pretty much every institution. Thank you for those words. I appreciate that.
Well, tell him I said Godspeed and just believe in himself and everything else will come together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I love that too stuff. You're rich in personality. I love that. I love your words, the way you put things together, Banky. So, Banky, is there anything that we did not discuss that you would want to put out there that you want to share with us? How do they get? Maybe we want some bank. Is that say bankology and all that good stuff? How does someone contact you to place orders for your paraphernalia?
Well, I got a Team Banky Pound management page on YouTube as well, where my brother runs that page. You can contact him to probably get some merchandise. On my YouTube page, you can order merchandise off of my YouTube page. If you go down to the I guess it's the bio or the about, and it would tell you how to order that type of stuff. I'm currently trying to, put out some more paraphernalia, some more merchandise, but learning all of that stuff as
Right,
well.
right, right.
But yes, you can definitely order some of this stuff. And I have, my gift bags or whatnot that I send to people to my followers. And shout out to all my members, membership on my Banky Pound YouTube page. I'm working on that merchandise stuff, but you can also contact me on my YouTube page or contact me on Instagram if you're trying to get into this bankology, if you're trying to get into this merchandise that we have over here.
And then we would reach out to you the same way if we wanted you to hire you on for speaking engagements and things of that sort.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can reach out through the Team Banky Pound management page. I'm definitely trying to get some more speaking engagements. I've spoke at Elizabeth City State University. Shout out to Coach Walker out there who had me out there. I'm working on some other colleges I'm trying to get into. I'm willing to come into any type of high schools where y'all feel like, the kids need to be. I think all kids need to be.
Oh,
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm open for all of that. And anybody who has any of that type of offers or information, they can contact me through the Team Banky Pound Management page or just hit me straight up in the IG or Messenger. But anything that's for the youth, anything that's trying to encourage them, uplift them, give them some type of, guidelines, and let them know the real life,
right.
the real life ramifications if you get off track out here. The worst thing the thing that I want to prevent the most is these young dudes out here forfeiting their life, man. Don't forfeit your life. If you out here on the street, you are actually winning. No matter what your circumstances are, you are actually winning because you have your freedom and you can change your circumstances no matter how bad they get. You have the opportunity each and every day to wake up and change your circumstances. You are not afforded that opportunity in prison. You are not. Until they open them doors, you will be living under rules and regulations. You can better yourself. You can take it upon yourself to try to educate yourself, to try to be productive, to try to be proactive, to take programs, to do whatever you have to do to better yourself. But you're not going to be able to change your circumstances while you are incarcerated until these people open that door. And then to get to that door opening, that is not guaranteed. That's not guaranteed because stuff goes down in there every day. People lose their lives in there. People lose their mind in there under the pressure, under the stress. So you are actually winning if you have your freedom right now. Do not forfeit that for anything.
Absolutely. And it's so crazy. I normally ask the guests that I bring on, what would you tell like the little Banky Pounds, when you were younger, and you just did that. I didn't even have to ask. You rock. Yes, Kiana said, do you have any big YouTuber collabs coming soon?
I'm working on some. I'm definitely gonna try to do some more things. I shout out to Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. Me and him we're talking about a collaboration in 2022. I'm definitely gonna get back with 16 in Life. Shout out to him. I'm working on some collaborations. I recently talked to Charleston White, so I don't know if we're going to do something or not. He said we are. We're going to wait and see. I've been in talks with Nino Brown. Shout out to Nino Brown. A lot of different people have reached out to me, to try to do some type of collaborations. Anybody that has a positive platform, anybody that has a platform that's trying to educate the youth, that's trying to put them on the right track, I'm open for any type of collaboration like that. Any type of speaking engagements, anything that's going to be proactive to talking directly to the young people out here, I'm trying to do it.
Absolutely. And we appreciate you for that. We really do. And I know I'm speaking for everyone, but I'm pretty sure they will agree. We thank you for what you're doing. I can't wait to see what you have stored for us in the future. I know it's going to be great things. I wish you all the success in every single thing. Chaos said Jay Williams is a good dude. Charleston White is negative. I don't know. And Keith Wilson said, UK in the house. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Banky Pound, I know it's kind of got you up and moving early in the day, and I know you have a lot going on this afternoon. You enjoy yourself today. I thank you again for coming on and taking that time out to come on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. Viewers, thank you all. I appreciate y'all so much. Banky, thanks for sharing them with me. And as we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, peace and love.
Peace and love. Shout out TBP. Shout out Alan Williams. Shout out Prince, the Investor Show. Shout out everybody out there who support Let's Sip and Talk. Freema, I hope you'll have me back again. I appreciate your hospitality. I appreciate the platform. Everybody out there, y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions. Appreciate you. Peace.